So Pete Sampras with the first set on Arthur Ashe court. For our Sky digital viewers, you do have a choice of other matches by pressing the red button on your handset. The matches will appear on your screen. Press the red button to see the conclusion of the second set between Mauresmo and Tozier. Mauresmo's taken the first set 6-love. It's on serve. Mauresmo serving at 4-5 and deuce. Men's doubles on the green button, mixed doubles on the blue button, and a rerun of last night's epic between Kirtan and Mirny on the yellow button. Right, back to the second set on Arthur Ashe court. Bill Threlfall, Jerry Williams.
This is the only player, I think, that Pat Rafter's ever had any social difficulty with. It was very brief, but it was about 3 or 4 years ago, and everyone in the game, I think, was surprised that Rafter was quoted as saying that something like that Sampras very rarely speaks to him or something like that, but it didn't last long. Like two grown-up men, they got together, sorted that out.
Yeah, they each gave a press conference, Jerry, after their last matches, and they were both very respectful and polite about each other, very friendly too. Rafter was actually asked, you know Sampras, and Rafter replied, is he the hairy one? So they were making jokes about each other. And really looking forward to this match, worthy of their talents.
Rafter at the other end, I think, while Sampras is trying to find a new racket to replace the broken string. Rafter seems to be looking around the back to see whether he can have a chat with anybody in the crowd. You can't see any inflatable kangaroos out there yet. If they're there, at least the camera hasn't spotted them. They usually are. Oh, that was really good stuff, that. And that was Rafter with his serve really functioning well, which it had done at the start of the whole match. A love game there.
Yeah, in fact, that's the first love game of the match.
Six aces by Sampras so far. Only 2 from Rafter. Well, Sampras keeps at the Rafter backhand return, but that was a very intelligent return. Just chipped it back there. That's the first point so far in these opening 2 service games that the receivers dropped a point. One game all. Second set, first set. Sampras in 39 minutes by 6 games to 3.
Lot 15.
Well, that time he did adjust his body position, make room for the shot. Wasn't easy. They're being fired back at him fast by Sampras.
Yes, again, somebody like Sampras, particularly if you're going to volley with the forehand, you've got to make sure it's a very good volley.
15-30.
He anticipates this beautifully. Look at this, he's already moving. There's a big gap there. He gave him too much of a chance there with that volley, and Sampras has broken first again, and he leads 2-1. And to be absolutely honest, Sampras has been ahead on points almost from the start, not quite.
Sampras leads by 2 games to 1.
The unexpected beauty of the Ford Focus is what lies on the inside. A safety cage that's more rigid than its main competitors. Put your own safety cage in a Ford Focus. From £10,460, including a 3-year warranty. Ford demands a closer look.
It's worse than we thought. You'll have to use the probe. Now go under the rim. Weeks of dirt and grime. You'll need new Harpic Power Foam, our amazing new cleaning system. First it clings, then expands, so you can clean the rim and the whole toilet effortlessly. New Harpic Power Foam, expert cleaning power. And now, to tackle the buildup of limescale in those inaccessible areas below the waterline, Harpic brings you new power tablets, eliminating limescale completely. Harpic, expert cleaning power.
That's our view, except we're slightly more to the centre.
Yeah. Bit like a ping pong table from that view, isn't it? Absolutely packed stadium. It's wonderful to see it on a day like this, all basking in the sunshine.
Yeah, that's where we are, up there, right at the top. See behind those windows, but we're more or less in the middle. In terms of looking down on the court, it's a wonderful position. And we keep giving the USTA credit for the commentary booth we have here year after year after year. It's the biggest and most comfortable we've had anywhere, Bill.
It's not bad.
That's a bit begrudging, wouldn't it?
It's not bad at all. Yeah, we look down the right-hand tram lines just about exactly.
Sampras, a set-up and a break-up here, 2-1. That might just have gone out. But Rafter decided he had to take it. You'll never know.
Netter hasn't been all that kind to Rafter. Has he got something wrong with that leg? Another wonderful return then by Rafter, right down on the Sampras toes. Just not lifting that cross-court backhand enough. Sampras plays it slower and higher. And also wider. And therefore safer.
There's a Rafter camp up there. John Fitzgerald, bottom left.
31.
Davis Cup captain, sitting with Rafter's girlfriend. And one of his brothers, certainly there. Tony Roach with the cap on. Having a long stint this year with Pat Rafter, travelling with him. The longest for Rafter's had a coach with him for a long time.
That was going 135 mph, doesn't count.
43rd.
Pity, because that was one of the best returns he's made. That's 3-1 to Sampras.
That was 3-5 against 1.
The speculation about whether Rafter was going to retire or just take a long spell out of the game at the end of this year has been down to him, because he was speaking freely down in Melbourne at the turn of the year, coming into the Australian Open, speaking quite freely about this may be his last year. And even now, he still talks about swimming with the dolphins and looking forward to that, getting away from it all for a while.
He does seem to be thinking very, very clearly, Sampras. He's in a zone which he's rarely in.
I think that's indicative of the fact that Rafter doesn't seem to be really snapping enough here. He's a bit low-key, lacking in confidence. Groped for that volley, didn't he?
I think he's been tested with so much variation, really, that life has been extremely difficult for him.
15-30.
And that's what I mean right here. I mean, this shot is impossibly difficult. It's a half volley, you know, a couple of feet behind you.
See, he didn't really snap at that first volley either, did he?
Well, it's going hard at him. I thought he coped okay, but the second one is going even harder at him. Just crunches his racket.
Rafter's in trouble again here. He's already a breakdown in this set. He's already a set down. Now he's 15-40 down. And sampras strikes again. He really is dynamic at the moment, and he's building a real lead here. Looks very much the winner after just about an hour. 4-1, 1 set to love.
Sampras leads by 4 games to 1.
Well, I think there's not much doubt with the way I see it. After 57 minutes, that having really struck quite early on in the first set, that Sampras has got snappier and snappier and snappier. Rafter more and more indecisive. And Sampras is hitting more clean winners, making very few mistakes. And at the moment, has, I would have thought, a fairly firm grip on this match.
Love.
And serves like that are doing nothing but damage to Rafter's confidence, such as it is. And this is becoming rather one-way traffic.
Well, when you get a serve coming at you at a regular over 120 miles an hour, sometimes over 130, you know, you have a split second to react and play a decent shot. It's not easy.
It's too easy, that volley.
40-15.
I think Rafter looks in shock, to be honest, Bill.
Yeah, well, anybody would be. I mean, on the form Sampras has shown us so far, nobody would live with him in this field, nobody, including Agassi. Every now and then, a player gets in the zone and doesn't know why, and Sampras is in that zone right now, as he was when he played Agassi a couple of 2 or 3 years ago at Wimbledon. He could not account for his wonderful form. He just said it's a lovely feeling, it just happens, you know, and I don't know why. I'm sure he's in that mood now.
Stretches lead now to a set 5-1. And Rafter has got to, seems to me, to make up his mind quite what he's going to do about this. Is he going to stay back? I can't imagine that. But I think he's just got to go for it a bit more. Might get lucky.
No, there's nothing Rafter can change to. He is an attacking player. It's the best way for him to play. He must carry on doing it. He must hope that the boil goes off a bit, you know. It could happen.
This will give him a bit of a lift. And the side of that hat will give him a bit of a lift if you can spot that one Aussie hat there in this vast crowd here.
Game, rafter.
Yeah, it's a much better game by Rafter on his serve. A love game. Sampras leads by a set and 5-2.
2 balls, please.
Remember how cool you thought you'd look in a pair of those sunglasses?
So you're the one.
Yes, ma'am.
Remember how you were gagging for Charlie to invite you to dinner?
Yeah, I guess when I see something, I go right after it.
Remember how you wanted to be the best of the best?
There are no points for second place.
And for those of you who wouldn't know your Maverick from your Goose,
The list is long but distinguished. This is Ghost Rider requesting a flyby.
indulge yourself in a little Top Gun action tomorrow at 10.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right.
What started as a scribble took 5 years to refine. But its flowing lines are not just for show. They create more space, improve acoustics, and increase visibility. But then, we're not the only ones to appreciate the beauty of a sweeping curve.
You know, I have a feeling that that defeat in the final at Wimbledon really hurt Rafter a lot more than he'd be ready to accept. I mean, he was lucky to get through against Agassi in the semis, wasn't he? But it seemed set up for him to win Wimbledon. He'd been in the final the year before. You know, the final against Ivanisevic went on and on and on. I just thought any minute, well, he's going to win this. He's going to win this.
Yeah, it couldn't have been much closer, could it? And not only that final, but the final in Australia as well, really. He was on the brink of winning both, and he lost both. Life gets tough.
Sampras serving for a lead of 2-0.
Paul Annacone has been his coach ever since his previous coach, Tim Gullickson, died. Great friends they are. Former quarter-finalist at Wimbledon, Annacone, as a qualifier. He hasn't really used very much, if at all, a sort of standard return of serve that he has of just blocking the ball, virtually no backswing, just pushing it back.
40-15.
2 set points for a lead of 2-0. Yeah, I mean, that was an awful return. He could just really make nothing of it. It's 2-0, and you'd have to say that Sampras is just about as much in command at the moment now of his match against Rafter as Agassi was before against Federer, and the two winners will play each other.
So Sampras 2-0 up on the Arthur Ashe court. For our Sky digital viewers, you do have a choice of other matches by pressing the red button on your handset. This screen will appear. If you press the red button again, you can join Mauresmo and Toziet deep in the final set. Tozier took the second set on a tie-break. It's on serve, 3-2 Mauresmo. Yellow button, you can see Andre Agassi against Roger Federer, which was played earlier today. Agassi was in sensational form. Back to Arthur Ashe, Bill Threlfall and Jerry Williams.
Well now, Pat Rafter has got to do something pretty drastic here to dig himself out of this hole. It's not a hole of his own making. It's mainly down to Sampras, who's been super fine. But the comeback, you would have thought, must start just about here, and that wasn't really the best of beginnings.
Sampras is thinking so incredibly clearly. He seems to be able to pick up exactly the right shot. His shot selection has just been incredible. Gosh.
Much better point that by him. There, the Aussies, they are there, and now's the time for them to bellow some support, I think, for their man.
That return of Sampras was brilliant, and it brought out the most wonderful volley from Pat Rafter. Good recovery this from Love 30, first game, third set.
Oh yes, went the wrong way. Brilliantly cool execution by Sampras.
Well, he's moving so well too, Sampras. That's what's so depressing for Rafter, that he plays a good volley right into the corner like that, and unfortunately for him, Sampras is on his way there.
That gives Sampras a chance to break right at the start of the third set. So Rafter's willing enough effort is being scuppered once again by a double fault. Jim Fitzgerald looks a bit glum up there. Oh yes, perfect.
Advantage Rafter. Game rafter.
Real steal from Rafter in that service game. He really had to hold his serve there. 2 sets down, start the third set. He would love 30 down. Double fault put him a break point down.
Yeah, well, Rafter is mentally very strong, apart from physically very athletic. It's just too tough on him, on Rafter, that he's met Sampras in his very top form. I haven't seen Sampras play like this since, well, I think actually since that Wimbledon final against Agassi, when he quoted that one at a press conference. He said, "I don't know what it was. I got up in the morning, I felt the same, and I just played out of my skin." Well, that's what he will be saying after this match, I think, unless his form dips remarkably.
15 love.
I'll tell you a statistic that really tells the story here. I think first service points won, Sampras 26 of 36. Sorry, Sampras 26 of 36, Rafter 26 of 42.
I think it's 26 of 30, which is even better.
You're right, 26 of 30. But Rafter 26 of 42. I mean, that's a huge disparity there.
Huge. Who's been returning well? Sampras. Who's been serving even better? This man. He's been doing everything well.
40 love.
Well, I would think that might well have been in the wrong court. Rafter isn't one to make a big deal of things, but he had a bit of a sniff of uncertainty about that.
Game second.
You can query that one game all, third set.
One game all.
Yes, when his first serve has gone in, he's only lost 4 points out of 31. I mean, that is some statistic.
He did wonderful, well, to try and recover that position, but I think he's lost his footing a bit there. Not a lot's going his way.
When you think, Jerry, here we have the, not here, Pat Rafter, we have the best volleyer in the world. He's made 8 volley winners in the entire match. Not much return, is it?
Rafter there, staying back behind that second serve. He hasn't been doing that much. Neither of them has. Waited for a chance to go in, and then made a mess of it. I don't think he's got enough confidence at all here.
No, I think he was in 2 minds. He won't be proud of that volley at all.
Didn't hear it, but even Rafter thought that was funny. Head of the good guys, Rafter. And there, I think it came fairly obviously.
30 all.
Good volley, and Sampras nearly bringing off a really outrageous winner.
Well, it was good to do better than that. He leads 2-1, Rafter. Sampras leads by 2 sets to none. If Rafter does head for the beach at the end of this year, the Australians could well finish this year by winning the Davis Cup. They're favourites to do that. They've got a semi-final home draw against Sweden coming up now. If they win that, they play again in Melbourne in the final. Who will they have to play? Hewitt. Who else? Philippoussis, having real trouble getting back with it. Yeah, injured. Tennis Australia, among the other things that they've been doing, is they've set up a series of what they call Tennis Australia home bases. There's one at Sutton Harcourt Tennis Club in Surrey. There's one at Emilio Sanchez's club in Barcelona. One at Newk's Ranch, John Newcomb's Ranch in Texas. Another one at Melbourne Park. Alan Stone there, colleague of ours often. He's here. And the idea is, you know, we're so far from the rest of the world, when Australian players are around, they'll have a home base to go to.
I gather, anyway, most of the young Australians coming up, young hopefuls to follow in Hewitt's footsteps. I think most of them come from the Balkans, Czechoslovakia, Hungary.
A bit like us.
Yes.
A lot of ICs on the end of their names.
Yep, yep. Well, people forget even Martina Hingis came from Czechoslovakia. So this match is, it's just a magnificent performance. You cannot say anything else about Sampras other than he has played quite brilliantly in this match. And you can't say anything really about Rafter in that, as always, he's given it everything. He's had to do some acrobatic volleys purely to keep alive in a point. He will fight to the end.
But something's got to happen to Rafter quickly.
15.
Well, he's only had one break point, and that was in the first game of the match on Pete's service.
15 all. That's 40-15.
Well, that was a smart shot from Rafter, than Dink.
40-30.
Yes, it was. Nice little pick up on the half volley there, and that was kept low. Second volley that Sampras has missed in this game. Now the pressure doesn't decrease with the second serve.
Yeah, he made it. Come on. It's catching.
Yeah, they all catch it from Leighton Hewitt, don't they?
Deuce.
Brilliant shot. Bending it round Sampras for safety. Coming up and over and round the right-hand side of the ball. Terrific shot.
Rafter beginning to get a bit excited and a bit vocal. I think the Aussies in the crowd have helped him. Yes, well, there you are. Now the clenched fist.
Well, he lifts that one. This one lifts it high enough because he put a load of topspin on it. Had to get that angle. Now, come on, Pat. Only your second break point. He's just a spoilsport, you know. Faced with danger, he inevitably gets his first serve in.
Guessed perfectly. Sampras there.
Advantage Sampras.
Yes, he did. If he'd gone cross court, I think he might have won that point, Rafter, but Sampras is moving so quickly. Couldn't be sure even of that.
Hit straight at him, perfectly sound thing to do. They'd expected of each other, but it didn't come off. And that last game there really was Rafter's chance.
Well, he may have another. You never know. He's certainly got inspired on a couple of points where he played beautiful backhand passes.
Two games all. Sampras leads, 2 sets to love.
So Sampras is right in the firing line for that. It was a very sensible shot, actually. Goes straight for the body. And then apologise, of course.
15 love.
I don't know when I saw Sampras look as fit as he does.
He claims he is very fit, very fit
very
indeed.
Fit to me too.
No problems, no niggles. Bad hair day for somebody.
41. Game Rafter.
Well, Rafter looks as if he might just be beginning to rebuild something here. Is it too late? That's the question. Will Sampras let him? That's the other question. 3-2 and 2 sets to love.
To cheer about,
Yeah.
you know, he's too clinical.
Yeah, that's right.
We can do it the next changeover.
George Diaz with the nice sense of humour is just asking him to stop it now, saying we could do it the next changeover.
Thank you.
Two, three.
Love.
When you get second serves at 113 miles an hour, you know, it doesn't make life very easy.
I think they've played 2.5 sets here in an hour and 32 minutes. I mean, they've been quick points the whole time, right from the start, both serve and volleying. So you've got none of these long, grueling rallies, or even long, scheming rallies.
40 love. Game sampras.
Love game. 3 games all. Hearing George Diaz having a little bit of fun with the crowd there, saying you can do the wave at the next change event. Remember the fun they had? That was Andy Egley in the chair, wasn't it? That Davis Cup final, Australia against France in Nice a couple of years ago. It was dead rubber then, though. But what he actually did was to try and stop the crowd going on with an interminable wave that they'd started, was to join in with them. They enjoyed that and decided they'd better behave themselves.
He really is getting the most enormous support. In fact, he's the higher seeded player, seeded 6. Sampras only seeded 10, but he's become the underdog in the match, Rafter.
40 love.
There wasn't quite sure, I think, whether to go for it originally, but he's found a better rhythm now on his serve. I think Rafter, he leads 4-3 in the 3rd set. Sampras 2 sets to love. So far in this 3rd set, no break of serve in this set. has to be the most famous skyline, doesn't it, Bill?
Yep. Chrysler Building on the left. Empire State Building fades into obscurity amongst all these other monsters, doesn't it?
Sampras used the body serve a lot, very intelligently.
Yeah, and he's also serving faster in this match than for a long time, I think. His average first service speed is 120. His fastest 132, and very often they're over 125.
Well, I think he's got to be very careful to keep up his momentum.
He's obviously elected to do that particular little scenario. Big serve, get him wide as Rafter goes for the middle, go behind him. Simple, as long as you do it well. Now this is one of the pretty few times that the return of serve has been the winner off the Sampras serve. There's hope here.
He needs just a little bit of luck there. 4 games all. Third set. This is the closest set there's been.
I think that was terrible luck for Pat Rafter then. I mean, gosh, if there's one thing he does need, it's a bit of luck. And that was going to be a brilliant passing shot then. And the net cord was unkind to him with these very tight nets here. He needed a nice, soft Wimbledon type net where it would have dribbled in.
A little shake of the head there from Rafter. Seems to say, you know, this is hard work. Nothing's really working for me at the moment.
15
His service has improved, getting much more first serves in here, many more. All first serves in so far. Can you imagine having just delivered a very good fast serve and you move forward and the next thing something lands at your feet, something very unpleasant, a Sampras return.
Well, there's no doubt he's persevered with his serve. He hasn't let himself get too depressed. He's looked down, understandably. He's looked down, and I agree with Bill. His serve is probably as good as it's been in the whole match.